Hey there, doing a VR to the Magnifico contest. 7LA320 Trevi. Big old fat sucker full of HH vintage Syrian. Pet peeves. I've been trying to save some money this semester and I bought some used books. And when you buy used books, sometimes, you know, they're a lot cheaper, but they come with underlining. And the problem is when you want to go in and underline, all this other stuff is underlined that you may not think is really important. Yeah, so underlining can be great if the person before you is a really smart person. It's like, you know, underline the main point and underlined all the key bits of the argument. You know, it's great. Okay, great. You know, I know exactly where to look and where I need to pay attention and make sure I get what's being said. The bad part, though, is it gets annoying when the person's, you know, not really smart who did the underlining. And in this book I'm reading now, this person keeps underlining stuff and asking questions like, what? Why? And oftentimes the answer to those questions is like in the very next sentence. And so it's like, yeah, well, keep reading and then you'll figure it out. That's a little bit of a pet peeve of mine. I've also done a video about pet peeves, about pipe shopping a little bit ago. I guess I can mention that again. You know, just put the weight and size of the pipe on your website. I think Cup of Joe's is really bad about that. They give you the rough size of it with their pictures taken against a background of a grid of 1-inch squares. But they don't necessarily tell you the chamber width or the chamber depth or the weight of the pipe. And for the most part, I like really light pipes I can clench. This one's actually not that bad to clench, even though it's pretty heavy. I don't know if that has something to do with the bit, or it kind of hangs and the stem is so thick it rests on my jaw, but I like to know that kind of stuff. And the other thing that's kind of a pet peeve of mine is when, you know, sometimes I like to get estate pipes or stuff that people are just trying to trade or sell online through various Facebook groups or whatever. And sometimes the people say, here, I've got this for trade. And they won't list a price. They're not even an asking price. Even if you're up for offers, or say, you know, I'd like to get $100 for this really sweet artisan pipe that's used but in decent condition, or you know, whatever the case may be. I'd like to get this. And that way I can, you know, scroll down and I'm looking and I see this pipe and like, oh, that looks pretty cool. I'd like to have that, but I don't really have a lot of budget right now. But if there's no price, then I've got to PM the guy and wait for a response. And the response can be, make me an offer. And, you know, it may be a really nice pipe. And I don't have near enough, but I'd like to be able to kind of like just write it off real quick, knowing what the guy's looking for. Instead of make me an offer and I say $30 and he says, oh, I really want $200 for it because it's this really great high grade. And say you want $200 and let somebody PM you if they want to give you $180. That's kind of a pet peeve. And finally, I don't know, this is kind of a mixed blessing. Had a professor who extended the deadline for the big term paper for the class, which is great, but he extended it to the very end of finals week. And usually how things go is you have the paper deadline, and then you get like a week off to study for finals, and then you take the finals. And so usually it's stay up all night every night trying to get the papers finished for this paper deadline, and then after that you can kind of concentrate on all the reading and stuff you haven't been doing because you're taking all that time to do the papers. But now I have, you know, all that reading time that I need to be catching up on reading. I need to also be writing my paper, and it's kind of good because this week I'm not having to kill myself. But I can see it being kind of a bad thing too, because they're my last couple of finals right before that paper's due. I might not hardly get to study at all. So I'm really happy about it this week. In another couple of weeks I'll be saying, man, why did he do that? So anyway, that's my pet peeves. Thanks for the contest. Congrats on all the subs. Happy puffing.